First of all, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Othman, Aldawamenah, Regional Manager, Mandiant. I joined Mandiant 8 years ago. I know some of you might heard of Mandiant and FireEye and Google and all those big names. I know most of you also know us for our second to none threat intelligence capability, our incident response capabilities. But today I'm not really going to talk about all of that in details because I think it's almost the end of the day and most of you have heard a lot of tech today. I'm gonna, think with you on the couple of questions that we've just heard, right? We've just heard that some good questions, and how can we prepare for an incident? Or no matter how much money we're gonna spend or we have, even nation states like big banks, big government organizations that have almost unlimited budgets, they still get hacked and get breaches, right? So we're gonna just go back to basics, right? This is the exact thinking that we have been adopting for a long period of time. Traditionally, what we think, if we have a lot of money, right? We've a lot of investment, and then we add on top of it a lot of effort. We hire a lot of good people. We graduate a lot of good people from universities, and then we train them very well. We put together a good security team and a lot of investment. The expectation is to have good effectiveness, right? The dark reality that we face during our incident response services that we do, and just for the record, we did more than 200,000 hours of incident response last year. And from those experiences and from those first-hand, let's say, experience and frontline experience, we realized that a lot of organizations that have met those criteria did not have an effective program. And when I say an effective program, I mean they didn't even manage to secure the baselines. I think we've heard a little bit about being able to do basic hygiene, we're able to do basic stuff. But the reality is, if we're gonna bring all those investment and say, okay, we're gonna put all this investment in network security or in endpoint security, or we're gonna build a very good CERT or a SOC team inside our organization. How good is that? That's great. But what are they gonna focus on? What are they going to think and take from priority to prioritize their tasks and focus? If they don't know what to defend against, and that's I heard most of the questions today. The questions tells us that we don't know what to expect, and what to expect is the question. So we need to know our vertical and obviously our geography. We also need to know our available capabilities. So if we have capabilities in one area, doesn't mean that we're gonna have everything in-house. We're gonna be able to outsource something. We're gonna have to build some internal capabilities. So, but we're gonna at least put a target on ourselves and decide, okay, those are our threat actors. This is our top threats that we need to protect ourselves against. And from there, we're gonna ask ourselves, are we currently compromised? How do we look like from the outside? Those bad threat actors that we've just heard our colleague here talking about, they think like us. And they look at us with their, obviously, technical eyes and analyze our capability. They scan us every day. They look at our assets. How exposed is it? Do we have our own assets, or do we use sometimes some third-party companies to host our assets? Our digital marketing footprint, our digital onboarding footprint, and so on. And finally, how prepared are we to specifically answer this threat that we believe that is actually a top threat to us? So prioritizing those threats can help us answer most of those questions. I know nobody is going to be able to answer all the questions with 100%, and if you've just heard my colleague there answering questions, it was always 50-50, 80-20. But at least what you need, what this will help us is to be able to have a higher percentage whenever we ask this question, right? So we also heard the question a little bit 5 minutes ago, I think, asking about, we buy all those tools, all those controls, all those softwares, and appliances as well. And then we send our teams to all those trainings. So those controls are not the thing that is going to protect us. What is going to protect us is the teams sitting behind those controls and the expertise and the intelligence, and between big brackets and a lot of lines underneath, the intelligence behind them, right? So this team needs to operate this vehicle, this team needs to operate this security operation, and this team is the leader, it's not the controls. Our journey in Mandiant, when we partner with the organizations to help them improve their cybersecurity posture, what we normally do is we try to capitalize on the current investment. So our priority is to make sure that we come and say, whatever investment you have is your priority to utilize. What then we need to do is to drive the effectiveness of those security operation tools and teams as well. What then we need to focus on as well as teams, as one team, is to reduce the business impact if there is a breach. We know the percentage, 50%, 20%, we still have a chance that we're going to be impacted. So our priority then is, if we get unlucky, right, and we hit the 20% or the 10% that we are looking at least the impact is not going to be a disaster, right? Whether we're talking about a country, an organization, or even a practice, right? How do we do that? We normally map it to those module families. We focus on threat intelligence, and then we go and validate those security tools, techniques, policies, procedures, and teams that you have. Furthermore, we try to automate as much as possible to allow for those teams to be able to free up some time and resources to be able to do what matters to them, right? And most importantly, we want to make sure that you as an organization have the ability to see yourself in the eyes of the attacker. So if I have an environment and I have some sort of footprint on the internet, internal, external, I have so many systems, I want to make sure that I'm able to see myself in the eyes of the attacker. Those are the main 4 categories that we're going to talk about today. And those basically are part of the platform that are going to help us mature and improve those cybersecurity postures without having to add so many new rules, techniques, and tools, additional expenses, and so on. Thank you very much.